Welcome to the world of programming. If you're a beginner who want to learn the basics of programming or an expert who want to sharpen his skills, you have come to right place. This YouTube channel is dedicated to providing you with the latest trend, tips, techniques and best practices to help you become a coding master. Hi, I am Ayush and today we are going to complete our to-do app in JavaScript. So let's get started. So as you can see, I'm in my VS Code and here we are having a logo for our project todo.png. Now were also having some of the basic functions starting with creating the database and ending with removing the database. And we also exports all these functions by using module.export. Now for importing and make use of these functions we need a script.js file. Okay, so let's make that file here. Let's close this one and let's make a express project. Okay, for that we need express, right? So let's make a constant express is equals to require and let's say express. After that we need to take all the functions here. So first is the create db function. Okay, let's say require. Okay, so let's say require and we are going to say dot slash index.css. Okay, and now create db is one of the functions there, and we are also having a lot of functions like insert json data and let us say fetch json data, delete file, remove database, and I think one more was there. Okay, I think that's done. Okay, now let's save this, and one more thing we need the path. For that we need path. Now for starting an express project we need the express function, right? And let's save this thing here and let's listen at port 8000 first, and let's make a callback function here. In the callback, let's say like console.log listening at http localhost 8000. After that's done, let's say app.get. Now for that we need to pass some name or string. Okay, so what it does, it takes the string of the url and manipulates it as per the program. Okay, so app.get is to check if there is a slash, means at the home page of the website. Then what we need a callback function with first the request, and after the request we have the response here. And what we need in the response, we are going to send a file. Okay, and let's say I send a file here. Now for sending a file what we need is res.send file, and here we are going to use path.join underscore their name with the file name. So the file name is index.html, as you know. So let's save this thing here, and now we are going to run our server with the node script.js. Let's press enter, and now you can see here's our website. Okay, so you can see no such file or directory. Okay, we need to make our index.html file. In fact, let's make this. Let's save the. Okay, let's go here and let's save this thing. Okay, now let's click here. Yeah, and it's opening in Microsoft Edge. Now let's copy this thing here and open it in Chrome. After that, what we need. Okay, one more thing I want to tell you that suppose if I save this index.html file, it does not reload the node and that may be a problem while developing the project. So for that we can use one utility, and that is like nodemon config. Okay, so let's say like this nodemon config. In that we have a parameter, I think ext, and if I'm not wrong that may be correct. So let's say like html. Okay, let's say like html comma js. Okay, let's save this, and if I restart my server here and go here to my index.html and save it. Okay, now it's reloading the nodemon, right? Let's close this. Now let's place the basic boilerplate with the title as to do app. After that, let's go ahead and rename this png file as ICO. After that, we need here the file, so link style sheet, and we are going to say to do.ico. Okay, not style sheet, we need an fav icon. Now let's save this. I think it should work, so let's go here, reload it. Okay, the icon is not there. I think let's go here and say link fav icon, and here let's say to do.ico, to do.ico. Let's save this and go back. Now also we are not able to see that. Let's go to inspect. Okay, so it's saying that it cannot load the content because, okay, so for that we in express we are having like middlewares, so we need to use one of them. So let's say express.use and means app.use and express.static. Here we need to pass the root, so the root folder is going to be the public folder, and then we are having like, what, path dot join, and we are going to join it with din name. Okay, din name, and with the din name we are going to say like public. Now let's save this. Now we are going to make, okay, wait a while. Okay, let's make a folder with the name of public, and let's put this to do I.ico inside there. Okay, now here we need to write like public slash to do.ico. Now it's giving me one error. Okay, so it's saying slash public, and okay, so suppose if I give it something like this. Now inside this, let's say public. No, it's not working. So dot use express dot static slash public, and I think that is correct, but it's not working. No, it's not like that. Okay, it's saying like static files. Okay, then we need express dot that. So what we need to do it in another way, not like this. Here we need to first mention the slash public. Okay, after that we can pass the express. Okay, wait a minute, express dot static and public. Let's save this, and now let's go back to the website, reload it. Now you can see the icon is there. Now what we can do here, let's go back to the normal mode. Now we are going to use bootstrap for our project. For that, we need to visit getbootstrap.com, and here we need to first give the css and then the javascript. Let's copy the css here, and let's go here, and in the index.html we need to give it. So here let's give this thing here. Now after that we need to give the javascript. For that, let's give it here as well. Now let's make an h1 tag and say hi, or let's say like to do app. Now let's save this and let's go back. Okay, let's reload. Now you can see to do app is there, right? Now what we need a, okay, so let's make a basic title, and so let us see what we can get here as a designs. Okay, so for making a basic to do app we need basically some input tags here, right? So let's say to do app, a very basic to do app we are going to make. So let's say to do app, and after that let's say br, and let's, after that we are going to say input with the class of form control, which is a bootstrap class. Okay, and let's save this thing here and let's go back, reload it. Now you can see that there is one, but it's giving me some box shadow. For that you can do one thing, you can go here Okay, let me remove the br here first. And in the, let's make an external, okay, let's make a style tag, and here we can say that, let's give it one more one, input, or let's say title. Now here in the style tag we are going to say dot title box shadow to be equal to none. Now let's save this thing and go here, reload. Now if I go click here one more time, it's showing me box shadow. Let's give an important, okay, let's give it importance, reload it. Now you can see that there is no box shadow. After that, let's give it some width as well. So the width I'm going to give it 20%, not 20%. Okay, so let's give, yeah, 20%, maybe fine. Now let's save this and let's go back here, reload it. Only this much, that may not be fine. Okay, so let's give it 30%, and also in the body, let's give some background color, means some solid background color. Um, let's say CSS background gradient. Now CSS gradients, let's get one of them because the website is not looking good. Let us say, let's see this one. So we should get some gradients for our website. Okay, so it's taking a lot of time to load. Now this one, let's take this website. I think this may give us something attractive. Dusty grass, sand to blue. Okay, Kai May admin. Okay, so let's say Kai May. Let's take this color here. I think this may be fine. Now let's give it here. Now you can, if I go back here to my website, reload it. Now you can see something like this. Yeah, it's looking good. Now in the to do app, let's give like h1 color white. Now let's save this thing here and let's reload it. So you can see to do app. Now after that we are having our text box. Okay, so here we just give something like, first of all, auto complete. I do not any kind of auto complete, so I will set it to off. And let's say placeholder, and let's say like enter the title. Now dot dot dot. Let's save this and let's go back. After that we can also give it like description, right? For that we are having a text areas, and for the text area also there is some examples in Bootstrap. You can go down here and you can see that there is forms. Yeah, in the forms you can see form control. Now here we are having a basic text area. Now let's say text area, this text area. So now let's copy this thing here, and after this we are going to paste this thing here. Now let's go back, reload it. Now you can see something like this is there. So what we need a br here first. After that, what we need is, we need the text area, and what we are going to do is box shadow. First of all, the box shadow I'm going to set to none important. After that, let's give it the width 50%. 50% width is not there. Let's give it important tag. Now you can see something like this, right? Okay, so this much is good. So let's give it some width as well, means height. And let's give it height of, let's give it 40% height. Let's save this with an important tag. One more time, it's not there. So we can say, okay, let's say 7 rows. Okay. Or we can also say like 8 rows. That may be fine. Now let's give it a placeholder for a placeholder, and the description. Now dot. Let's save this. Go back. Reload. Now you can see we are getting our these two things, and finally we can have one button. Okay, so let's say the button to be a submit button, and that will say submit, but we are going to give it a class, right? So let's give it a class, and the class is going to be btn and the btn success. Okay, let's save it. Now if I reload, you can see something like this, right? Now I can just go here and here br tag to save that. Now as you can see here, I'm just giving this button a type of submit, and then yeah, the following class, and then a br. Okay, so let's save this thing and go back. Now you can see our button is there, so the color is I think not so good. So let's go here and inspect it. So I want to see the color here. So here's the color, but okay, that's all fine. Leave it. Now what we need, the next thing we need is the container for the to do's. So dot to do container. Okay, in the to do container we can say like, okay, let's fine, one time save it. Okay, let's go back here, inspect it, and let us see our, wait a while, where is that? We are saving it, right? Now let's reload it. Now yeah, here's the to do container. The width may be 100%, right? So we are going to give it height. So let's give height 20%. Okay, so we are getting like into zero. Why is that so? Now if I give it something like 200 pixels. Okay, so okay, that's all fine. Now let's give it uh br. After the submit button we can also give one br. Let's give a br here. Now here in the to do container, let's save this thing here, and let's go back. So here you can see that here's the to do container. Now let's give it some id of to do container. Let's let it be class to do container, and let's give a container class. In means in the bootstrap we are having a special class container for containers. Okay, so now what we need to give it something like, okay, that's all fine. Okay, now what we need is whenever someone clicks on the button, so let's say on click, and let's say make to do. Now this thing we can do, go here and say script tag, and in the script tag we are going to say like function and make to do. And even before that, let's take all the basic containers. So let's give each and every of them an id. So let's give the input box an id of title. So title id and dsc, and after that let's say this. So let's say like title is equal to document dot get element by okay, not get animations, get element by id, and let's say title, and let's say let's dsc is equal to document dot get element by id desc. Okay, so dsc, and after that let's save this thing here. Okay, let's take the container as well. So let's say container is equal to document dot query selector to do container. Now that's okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to say let to do template. So there is a to do template, means in which form we need to give the to do. So to do okay, let's give it like to do underscore template is equal to, so we are going to give a string here. Now here let me give like to do template. So for that we need to go back here to bootstrap, and here I can just go here and search for card. Now you can just see, okay, let's take this card here, and we are not going to give any kind of image. Okay, so let's save this thing here. copy this, or you can copy here as well. Okay. Okay, so just go ahead and in the to do templates paste it, and we are going to not give any kind of images here, so let's exclude that. Now the moment I save it, and okay, let's take the container here, dot inner html plus equal to that to do container. Okay, so let's say to do template, so to do template. Now if I save it and go back here, reload it, save, submit, click on submit, submit. It's not submitting because it's giving me an error. Inner html is not defined, so we are having a to do container. Okay, let's give it dot to do container. Now let's save it, go click on submit, submit, submit. Okay, now you can see something like this, right? Now it's fine. Now here what we can do is card title. Instead of the card title, we are having the title here. So okay, so let's remove that container class here first of all, so because that's creating a problem. Let's Okay, let's do that. Now if I click on submit, you can see submit, submit, submit. Now instead of the title, we are going to give the title only. So instead of this title, title dot value, and instead of this whole description, we are going to give a simple description dsc dot value. And this button I'm going to say like a danger button. And what's going to be the button? The button is going to be a delete button. Okay, now let's save this thing here and let's go back, reload. Now if I say something like, let's say title, and in this description, click on submit, title, description, delete button, click on delete, nothing happens. Now this is about the stylings. Okay, so let's give one br here. So let's say b, okay, let's say br here, save it. Now I think that may be fine. Submit, reload. Now one more thing I want, that whenever someone submits, these get empty. Okay, now one more thing I want to ensure, that if, let's say like if title dot value and dsc dot value, means if both of them are there, then only I'm going to just do this. And suppose if they are not there, then what we need not to do all this thing. Okay, so and one more thing, whenever we are doing this, we are going to say like title dot value going to be null, and dsc dot value going to be null. And that's all. Let's go and save it. Now let's do like this, submit. Now you can see that's all empty. Now I want one more thing here, that whenever someone submits, means click on that delete button. So let's say like on click, and what we can do here. Okay, so for that delete, let's remove, let's leave it now. First let's make a functionality to save the data to our file based database. Here we are having some functions, right? We are having creating database, inserting JSON data, fetch JSON data, right? So that also we can do. But one thing I want to tell you, that whenever someone click on the button, what I want is, okay, let's do one thing. Okay, let's give it the button a title, that submit. Okay, and instead of this on click, let's remove this on click here. We do not need that. And let's say let btn is equal to document dot query selector hashtag submit, and let's say btn dot add event listener, click, and let's say e, and let's say we are having a e. So we are having that. Where is that e? Okay, so here we are going to say like e dot prevent default. Let's say this, and this whole code I'm going to just go here and paste it here, and then remove this. Okay, now if I click on save, reload, give some title, submit. That's all done. Now what we need means, is it reloading the page? Okay, let's see. It's not reloading the page. Okay, that's the best thing. Okay, now the next thing we can do is, okay, so we need to save the data in the, this means MyDB. Okay, we need to send the data, means save the data in the MyDB. So for that, what we need to use this create DB insert JSON data. And how we can use that? We can use that by using WebSockets, because we can't directly communicate from this client to the server. We need the WebSockets to connect to the server, and whenever someone submits, we are going to send the title as well as the description to the server, and then the server is going to process that and create the database, then insert the JSON data, fetch the JSON data, and then delete the file, and that's all. So that it's going to do. So yeah, this may take a lot of time, because this may because in this we need to first create the means the WebSocket, then we need to create the JSON data. Okay, so yeah, in this video we just made up the basic stylings and basic functionality of the website. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video. Meet in the next video when we are going to make the logic for our website, in which we are going to create the database inside the JSON data. Okay, so till then, see you.